So in this first problem, what I have to remember is that my only way to go between these two units is that 1 inch is 2 5400 centimeters. So that means I need to go from inches to centimeters. So I'm going to have to go from feet to inches to centimeters to meters. So if I want to start, I need to get all of this into inches. So I know that I have 16 feet. And I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So I know that this part, I would just end up multiplying 16 by 12, and I would get 192 inches plus the 3 inches beyond. So this means that it's 195 inches long. Now, I can go from the fact that I know the car is 195 inches. I can then use that there's 2 5400 centimeters for 1 inch. My inches would cancel. And I know that for 1 meter, there are 100 centimeters. And there my centimeters would cancel. So I know to find my solution, I will do 195 times the 2 5400. Here, let me erase that, make it a little bit easier to see. 2 5400, and all of that over the 100. And I know that this would also be meters times the 1 meter. And when I get 4 953 thousandths meters. And then the second one, I start in centimeters, and I want to know how many feet and inches. So here, I go from 415 feet, and again, I know there's 1 inch for 2 5400 centimeters. There my centimeters cancel. So if I convert this over to inches, I get a long decimal. So I'm going to round it right now to the 100th and say this is 163 3900 inches. So then the question is, well, how many feet in inches is this? So what I would have to do here is actually divide it by the feet to pull out what I can, and then I know that my remainder will tell me how many inches are left. So I know that within a single foot is 12 inches. So I'm going to divide by my 12 inches, the 163 3900, and when I do that, I get 13 with a remainder. So let's see, if I do 12 times 13, I get 156, and when I subtract them, this leaves me with the 3900ths, and this would be 7 3900. This tells me that I have 13 feet and 7 3900 inches. Alright, the next one, we know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, and is 1 square kilometer 1,000 square meters. So the thing to remember here is that if I think about 1 square kilometer, that means 1 kilometer times 1 kilometer. And then when I convert that, I know that this is 1,000 meters times 1,000 meters, because I'm just doing a substitution. And then that ends up being 1 million square meters. So no, it's not, because what's happening is they're forgetting, say it was a student doing this, they're forgetting that changing to a square kilometer means we need to change both the unit, we need to do the units squared. So we have a way to do that is to think about it as if it's that unit times itself, and change each of those, one for the length and one for the width. Okay, so here, the next one, the idea of, well, is 1 foot the same as, if 1 foot's 12 inches, is 1 cubic foot 12 cubic inches. So again, we can think about this as a cubic foot would be 1 foot times 1 foot times 1 foot. And I know that a foot, as we just said, is 12 inches times 12 inches, because I got to change each of these feet over to inches to get my cubic inches. And when I do 12 times 12 times 12, I get 1,728 cubic inches. So what happens there is, again, you got to remember that when you convert, you have to convert the unit 3 times so that you can do the cubic. And so that'll be 12 cubed. Alright, last problem here about how much mulch will you need to cover a rectangular garden that's 20 feet by 30 feet by 3 inches of mulch. And I want the answer in cubic feet. So I know that since it's a rectangular garden, that volume is length times width times height. So here I have my length and my width, 20 feet by 30 feet. And then my height is 3 inches. And there's the problem. I can't have square feet inches. I need everything to be the same unit. So I'm going to change the 3 inches because it says to keep the answer in cubic feet. So I know that 3 inches I can convert by doing 1 foot to 12 inches to get my solution. So in essence, I'm really doing 1/4 times 600, and because I can see the inches cancel, so if I do 600 divided by 4, I get that this should be 150, and then feet times feet times feet would give me cubic feet of mulch.